Alright guys, so my classroom is officially, I would say 99% done. There's still very little things I need to do, but it's pretty much done. So I want to show you guys my classroom tour and I'm really excited. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so when you first walk in, here is an overview of what my classroom looks like. So over here to the right is where we have our first half of our class library, and then on here is where students have their restroom sign out sheet. I still need to get batteries, but this is just a digital clock so students can easily write the time, because I was noticing last year that they were not putting accurate times, because even though I do have a clock that's supposed to help them, they either were in a rush and wouldn't figure it out or didn't know how to read the clock. So I'm like, I'd rather have the correct time of when they're leaving, so I put that here. And then I need to put different pencils in here, but this is where they'll sign out. And then I also need to move this because I don't want to show everything, but it's covering these two things. So I'm going to move it to the left of our emergency plan that's on our wall in this area. So I'll move that eventually. And this is just where I'll keep my sign for fire drills. And then over here will be our sharpening station. So I didn't have this last year, but I think I'm gonna have students keep dull pencils here and then sharpen pencils in this one. And then you move on over, and this light is from Amazon. And by the way, everything that I show, I'll have that linked in my Amazon storefront. Pretty much everything is in there. I have it linked. So yeah, if you're interested. But I have this light. And then this is kind of like our little library area. This you will not find. This bear, I actually got it when I got asked to prom, what, 7 years ago now? I'm old. But when I got asked to prom, I got that bear. So it's been in here, which is the perfect place for it. And then have some pillows and everything, which the kids enjoy. And then over here is our well work. So I always like having a spot in our classroom where students' work is displayed. I learned in school how important it is for students to have their own work displayed in their classroom. So I always love having a well work wall. And I just got these little amazing work coming soon posters. So that way for me, the teacher, it's nice and cute. And I love that. And of course, our alphabet ball up there. All right, over here is where I have this rolling cart. And I just keep a lot of extra work in here for like small group stuff. So I want to do a better job being organized with it this year, of putting papers in there for when we're doing different stories for small group, because even though I was here, I was not as organized. I felt like I didn't have that well of a system when I could have easily utilized this. So I want to make sure I do that. And then also I keep my whiteboards here and markers and erasers for small groups. So that way students can keep the whiteboards at their desks, and then the ones for small groups, we use these ones over here. Yeah, so this is my little small group station. I love that pink chair. It's also from Amazon, and we're missing a couple chairs. I don't know where my chairs went, but over summer, a few of my chairs went missing, so I need to get those. But this is my small group table, and then our back wall, and we do a meme of the week every week. And then this is where I just keep my learning intentions and write those there. And then over here is where I keep my other stuff for small groups. So again, this is what I'm trying to say. There's so many papers here, and it just became such a mess. So I need to be better with organizing this, but we kept a lot of our small group resources here. So yeah, that's what that looks like. And then if we move on over, this is our other class library, which is one of my favorite places in our classroom. So this is our classroom library. It is so cute and I love it. And then we have these cute books over here, cutely displayed. And I always get asked about this light, and this is from IKEA. And then here's actually my birthday wall, which I do need to do later today, is go ahead and add all the kids' birthdays. What I did last year was just laminate these blank, and then I wrote with dry erase marker their name. And I love that system because at the end of the year I was able to easily just erase, and then I can just move these around and everything super easily. So I'm glad I did that, and the kids love having their birthdays displayed, so super cute. And then over here is where I have my math and ELA wall. So the reason why I have sides blank is so that way I can put our anchor charts for that whatever unit we're working on. So I change that out, the anchor chart, every module that we're doing. So yeah, to keep it current with what we're learning. And we have our math talk wall over here to help students get involved in conversation for math. And then here are our vocabulary posters for operations. And these are actually listed in my TPT store as well. So if you guys want to shop those. And then in our ELA section, we have our grammar wall. So we have all those pieces here as well. So students have a better structure of when writing sentences. And again, here's a view from this angle. And then over here, now we're at our front of our classroom. You guys can see, this is where we're at. Okay, so in the front of our classroom, I like keeping seasonal books in the front. So I remembered when I was in first grade, my teacher did that every season. We had seasonal books. And I was like, I already knew at that time I wanted to be a teacher, so I remember like having that memory like, okay, when I become a teacher, I want to do the same and have seasonal books displayed and read every season. So that's what I did, and I love it. It's so fun. And the kids enjoy when we get to read them as well. So here are all of my back to school, first week of school books that we have here. And then we have our flexible seating desks, our lap desks on the floor. It's where we store them. And then last year I had this wall covered, but I decided to keep this wall blank this year. That way we have more board space when students are coming up here and writing, or I need to write, just because whatever I'm displaying up there takes up the whole board space. So I'd rather have some additional whiteboard space. So I wanted to keep this side blank. And then here's my rug, which everyone always asks and has questions about. I believe this rug is a size 8 by 10, and this is from Amazon, also linked. It's currently sold out, but I also linked ones that were very similar. But yeah, I love this rug because when it gets dirty, you really cannot tell. And so that's great. And I use carpet tape to make sure it stays down, which is really nice. And then we have voice levels over here, and then I use like this to help students visually see where their voice should be. So I like that. And then we have our multiplication skip counting chart, which when I was doing my video last year, it was covering my walls up for state testing. Everyone was like, wait, why are you covering 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? Like, that makes no sense. Like, how would the kids need to know that? But you guys could not see that it's actually skip counting, so it's a resource for them to use for multiplication strategy. So it's not just decoration. That's one thing I want to say. A lot of the decoration I make sure is purposeful and actually helping students, so those aren't just numbers. It's actually a strategy for students to use and to help them. So yeah, and I actually forgot to come over here and show you guys this little area, which this part I actually had my first year teaching. So now I didn't want to get rid of it because I can never not have too much storage, so I use this if I need some extra space to store papers and things. But this is where, and it ended up working perfectly because I needed somewhere to have this go, and this is our turn-in trays. So for each subject, this is where students turn in their assignments. All right, back over here. And again, here's the angle from this side of the classroom. So, and then over here is where we have our hand signals for students to visually see how to get my attention without speaking and using hand signals. And then up here we have our place value chart, which is very helpful to them in 4th grade. And also these borders are from Schoolgirl Style. I also get questions about that. And then the LED lights, Amazon. And then this, a new addition to my classroom this year, this is our new calendar, and it is from Target, and I have this linked actually in my Target storefront, which I'll have linked also down below. It's linked in there. And then our schedule, which we just recently got our new schedule, so I'll have to update that. And then I keep these all these different times also, and I actually have this as a classroom job, so students will come over to this and they will look at what our schedule is, and I have it for every day, which obviously this needs to be changed and updated, but they will go through and see what the schedule is, and these are all magnetic, and then they'll just change the schedule every day, which they love to do. This is like one of their favorite jobs, which is great for me because my first year I did it every single morning, and then when the kids would ask if they could do it, I was like, wait, that's a great idea, and it saved me a lot of time. So they love doing the schedule. And then our CKH questions over here to the left. Then I've had this forever. I don't even know where I got it, but I've had this since my college days. That was in my dorm. So that's there. And then I want to laminate this over here because this is also a classroom job that I have, is our secretary. So if I'm not able to get to the phone, our secretary will answer the phone, and then they'll use this script to answer it appropriately. And yeah, I need to either stick something else on here, and because it's sticking to the back part, I need to just laminate it just so it stays up. So I need to do that today too. But here is now my little desk area, which is another one of my favorite parts of my classroom. My desk area. So desk pad is from Amazon. And then over here, I just have my friends and family photos of them. I used to have like space for students when they drew pictures, and then ended up getting super cluttery very fast. So I decided I'll just take those home instead. I actually have a book, a binder of why I teach, where I store student letters and drawings. So I figured out to be more organized, I'll keep that in here, but I just have all those friends and family photos there, and then all of my stationery supplies over here. And then I have my additional stationery supplies, and then this is where I keep all my important information during the year. My mini fridge, printer, my clipboard storage that I love so much. I think this is a beautiful way to store the clipboard, so I love that. And then humidifier as well. And then our sink is over here. Again, here is the classroom from this view now, right? And then over here is just where I keep more supplies and store those. And then our cabinets. So I have so much stored in there. I think if you guys watched my setup videos, you guys would have seen that this broke. So they're gonna try and replace it, one of the shelves. But I keep a lot of my stuff in here and all organized as best as I can. And then same things, all supplies labeled and organized. And then I need to still organize the bottom two, but if you look, the first four I love. And then yeah, a bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna bore you with going through all of those cabinets, but I have a bunch of stuff stored in there. And then over here is where we normally have our laptop cart stored, so we'll be getting that next week, and that's where students keep their laptops. And then to the left is where I store headphones. And so yeah, so that's in there. And then here is our affirmation station as well. So this is another one of my favorite parts of my room. It's so cute. And then my camera's about to die, so I'll try and quickly finish up. But luckily, we're getting replaced these caddies next week. They're coming in. Lakeshore was so nice enough to send me some new ones. So those are coming hopefully by Monday. I'll be replacing these caddies, and then I will be storing student supplies in there, which normally I keep their whiteboards here, whiteboard markers and erasers, crayons, pencils, and colored pencils, just so it's super easy access for them. And yeah, so that's my classroom. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and seeing a little classroom tour. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye guys.